What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Eric, and today we're reviewing the season finale of Chucky. And overall, I thought that this was a really fun series, a really fun season. It has been renewed for a second season, so the Chucky videos, they're not slowing down here. I'm going to continue to review every episode. And overall, I thought it was a really fun season, and I'm overall happy with it. But I have to admit that this particular episode was my least favorite in the entire season.
Epic fail!
It went completely batshit crazy, which some people will enjoy, no doubt. But it just went absolutely insane from every aspect pretty much. And I also thought a lot of the editing was awkward, just not that great. A lot of the effects on Chucky in here are noticeably not good, and I know that they don't have the big budget like some of the movies, but it was just more noticeable in this episode. There was even some points, like some shots where Tiffany would be putting the doll on the ground, the live doll, but it would be a shot from farther back, and you can tell that this is just a lifeless doll. And then the next scene, they show Chucky, you know, a close-up, and he's moving around a more normal Chucky. But it just feels like he's like lifeless from his eyes, but his mouth is moving. And I can't really describe it, but just Chucky didn't look that great a lot in this episode, in my opinion. And like I said, some editing issues overall, just didn't flow very well, and also some logic issues, some major questions that I have, like that makes no freaking sense. So we're gonna get into all of that. We'll have some spoilers, of course, as in every one of these reviews. But let's get into it, starting with some of the positives about it. Look, Chucky's still funny. He's got some really cool one-liners, really funny one-liners. This episode definitely has the most carnage if you're looking for that. Lots of kills. Some of the kills hard to even watch, and I'll talk about that a little later why. But there's lots of kills, lots of blood. And it ramped up. I mean, the intensity ramped up. If that's what you're looking for, and that's what a finale should do. It got some things right for a season finale. It also left some storylines open to continue, because by the time this was being filmed, obviously, and edited, they knew that they were going to have a second season. So they left some storylines open to continue on for the second season, while also bringing some closure to some other storylines. So they did that pretty well. I thought Tiffany and, you know, her obsession, and I will get into this a little more, the things I didn't like about it, but her obsession with Nica and, you know, the things that she did to make sure she gets Nica all to herself makes sense. And it's cold-hearted, and it's just like, you know, something you would expect Tiffany to do. But I do have major issues with it as well. We'll talk about that in the negatives. And I thought all the kids, as far as, you know, the teenagers, I thought that they were the best part of this series, all the new characters. Because the other old characters, while I love to see them, I didn't think that they were treated that well. I didn't like their roles for the most part. And they really just muddied things up with so much going on, and the multiple Chuckies and just everything going on. It's very saturated, and, you know, a series that started very simple, kind of grounded, easy to follow, really fun. Chucky was awesome, and then you start getting the multiple Chuckies, and then Kyle, and then you know, Andy show up, and you got Tiffany going on, and you got Nica going on, and a lot is going on, and it starts getting really freaking crazy and a little over the top. And this final episode, it really showed, in my opinion, and it was not my favorite. Even though I love to see these characters, of course, I don't think they were utilized the best so far. Now, things could change in the second season. I'm still going to give this show a chance. I'm not giving up on Chucky, trust me there. But this one felt like a giant conglomeration of the Chucky the TV series, which I've been loving, Seed of Chucky, which I don't like, it's my least favorite Child's Play movie, and Cult of Chucky, my second least favorite Child's Play movie. One thing I didn't really buy into was Junior going full evil. At least at first it looked that way. I mean, this dude had the look in his eyes. This dude's straight psychopath, carrying around the knife. Hey, Lexi, you want to get back together? And I'm like, no way. This dude, I get it. He killed his dad. He's got to be messed up. Chucky is manipulating him. I mean, and he's young, I guess. But damn, the dude went full psychopath. But I will say the show made it a little bit more sense when he was actually asked to kill Devin. Then he was asked to kill Nica, and he was hesitating. He was like, wait, you want me to kill Devin? Wait a second, you want me to kill her? What did she do? Who is this? You know, he doesn't just want to kill any and everybody. He is not truly on Chucky's level, but he definitely was, you know, off his rocker there and insane. And then the way his, you know, arc ends, you know, he actually dies trying to save Lexi, attacking Chucky. He gets to Chucky, but Chucky also puts a knife in him. And I thought it was a decent arc. It just happened so quick. Like, you know, the whole season, he's basically a normal kid. He has some problems at home. His dad is pressuring him, you know, to be an athlete, trying to relive his youth, and, you know, so on and so on. But eventually, he is manipulated into thinking that his dad is terrible, was cheating on his mom and all this, and he kills him. And now he's full freaking psycho. And it just, yeah, I don't know. But, you know, he's hanging out with Chucky, like, who are we going to kill next? What's next, man? He's all happy. And they never, by the way, shout out to Logan M for noticing something that in the last episode I forgot to mention. I noticed it, too. They never even showed the reaction when Junior found out that Chucky was alive. Just 1 minute, they're buddies, and they're sitting there talking. And it's like, you know, he's the one who's been every time someone talked about the dolls alive, he's like, stop lying, stop making up stuff, which of course any of us would probably say because it just sounds insane. So it would have been really nice to find out that reveal of him learning Chucky's alive. They never show that. That's 1 minute they're just buddies, best buds. That happens very quickly. And his entire arc happens very quickly. He's evil. He, you know, then all of a sudden, time for redemption, attacks Chucky, saves Lexi. He's dead. So I thought it was just quick, but it's not even the worst aspect at all of this episode that I didn't like. Overall, pretty much all the kids I thought had decent arcs, even Lexi, who I still stand by that they went a little over the top, but maybe they had to for the purpose of the story. And she's just 14. I can get it. She was such a bully. She was so horrible. But it was surface level stuff, you know, deep down somewhere in there was a good person, but she was just trying to be popular, doing what she thought she, you know, and she's a kid, and it was horrible. So I'll give the show that it did a decent job of turning her into a better person. And, you know, she realized she was a bitch and has even said so. So, okay, I can finally forgive her and move on. She's going to be alive into the second season, but good Lord, I hated her. I thought the scene where Jake finds out, you know, first he thinks that Devin is dead. He finds out he's alive. Devin just shows up. I thought it was a pretty cool scene, pretty sweet moment right there. And I thought that, you know, the actor that portrays Jake, Arthur, I think his name is, Zachary Arthur, he does a fantastic job, by the way. Shout out to him. He's got some acting chops. But let's get into what I really didn't like about this episode. All that was either stuff I liked or mixed aspects, like, you know, the Junior arc I thought was too fast and not so believable. I mentioned Tiffany, and I thought it was in character for her to do what she did, but at the same time, how y'all gonna do Nica like that? How y'all gonna do Nica like that? Nica, to me, is an important part of the Child's Play franchise. She is like, to the Child's Play franchise, maybe what Jamie Lloyd is to the Halloween franchise. They did her wrong, too, in that franchise. But, you know, you have your main protagonist, of course. In Halloween, it would be Laurie Strode. In Chucky, clearly, it's going to be Andy Barclay, you know, the one who is the OG, the original, and, you know, makes some comebacks. But then there's this new protagonist that really establishes themselves as a solid protagonist and kind of a fan favorite, I think. Anyway, for me. And that's Fiona Dourif's Nica. Okay, we love Nica. Okay, she's already been in 2 movies and now throughout, you know, several episodes of this. And, you know, she's so awesome. Fiona Dourif is such a good actress, and she's so good at portraying this character as Chucky, as the OG, as the original Charles Lee Ray even, which, you know, is amazing. I'm sure that she'll continue to do that. Maybe they won't have flashbacks anymore now that they've already led all the way up to the opening of the 1988 movie, so I'm not really sure there even. But as for, you know, the modern day, you know, paraplegic Nica, well, Tiffany just chopped off her legs and her arms, and it was a very horrific scene. And, you know, if this was just going to be 1 season long and that was it, and they were ending it, I guess that would be fine. But that's not the case. We're moving on. And so I don't know how they're going to continue Nica. I mean, I know she was already paraplegic. She couldn't walk, but at least she had arms. So now she's just, you know, it was going to be tough before to find a role for her. Now it's going to be damn near impossible. I don't like how they did her. I don't like that. Sorry. Especially because the other original characters I didn't think got much better to do here in this episode. What's up with Andy and Kyle? I thought they were going to be like teaming up, badass, back to Child's Play 2. These are the original characters from Child's Play 2. The original actors are back. Why did Andy leave Kyle at the gas station? I mean, why? I don't know. I don't see what, you know, benefit that brings to the show. At least, you know, here in the episode, we see a little bit of Kyle. She shows up, but not with Andy. We see a little bit of Andy. Andy shows up being really super creepy, by the way, at the beginning of this episode when he shows up at Junior's house and acts like he's just a guy shopping. At first it's okay. This is his ruse, right? Hey, I saw the Child's Play, or the Good Guy doll, for sale. Is Jake here? I'm interested in buying it. I want to check it out, see if it's in mint condition. So far, okay. Then he starts like looking around like a detective. You mind if I look around a little bit? He starts asking weird questions, putting his hand in the tub. It's like, bro, what are you doing, man? I thought you were here to buy something, like buying the doll, dude. What are you, a detective? Are you a cop? What are you doing? And then finally, he's like, if you see the doll, stay away from it. And we know why he's saying that, but in any real world, and I know it's Junior, and he's kind of lost it at this point as well, but in a real world, you'd be like, why are you telling me to stay away from the... What? You're weird. But I digress. Back to, Kyle and Andy. I thought it was a huge missed opportunity. And I don't even know what happened to Kyle. I think at the end that was maybe her glove. They were at the cemetery and they showed a black glove wrap around a tree and then cut credits. And I guess that's Kyle. So to let us know she's not dead, because I think she wears black gloves. So that's all I can say. I guess she's alive. But they acted like she's dead, and they didn't really show her. They didn't. Kyle was with Andy briefly at one point, and then next thing you know, there's this explosion, and Andy's driving off in a truck. So you assume, I guess Kyle's dead. At first, we thought Andy was dead. I was like, if they kill Andy and Kyle with that explosion, I'd be pissed. That's the most unceremonious way to just. They can't do that. That can't happen. I don't even know if they can kill Andy and Kyle in this TV series and get away with it, period. That's going to be really tough. Andy, how you going to kill off Andy? But I thought they were misused overall, and Andy just acts weird, and maybe it's partly his actor. I mean, maybe he's just not the best actor, but overall, even Kyle was acting kind of wonky there when she was talking to the teenagers. Just didn't like the use of their characters. And, Jennifer Tilly... Literally, Jennifer Tilly's in this movie as Jennifer Tilly, and never liked that. Made no sense. The only reason they did this, they wanted to bring Jennifer Tilly back so she can be a physical actress and not just a voice for a doll. She wanted to be actually in the movie. Probably she said, no, if you're going to recast me, I need to be in the movie and not just a voiceover. And I'm guessing they wanted her in the movie, and since they already killed off her physical character of Tiffany, they decided, well, let's just make Jennifer Tilly a real person in this universe who just happens to look exactly like Tiffany. I mean, twins. It makes no sense. But anyway, yeah, Jennifer Tilly, she's back as, Tiffany, pretending to be Jennifer Tilly. Really deep and confusing. But if you've watched the movies and you're a big Child's Play fan, you get it. There are certain lines like I thought were a little insulting to the fans, where at one point she's talking to the driver of the truck who's about to, transport all the Chucky dolls and all the Good Guy dolls. She's like, you better get to where I'd say you need to be at this time or I'll kill you. Just kidding. And then when she says just kidding, we're like, okay, but we know she's serious. She will kill him. She will do it. And then as she's walking off, she's like, actually, I'm not. Like, not just kidding. Like, we know you're not just... They didn't have to throw in that little extra line. We get it. We're not dumb. And also, there's this new reveal, which kind of works in the show, but it also retcons the retcon as far as saying now Tiffany is the reason that Charles Lee Ray was getting hunted down by the cops at the beginning of the first movie back in '88, because she actually called the cops. She actually called the cops and ratted him out. Not only that, she specifically asked for Detective Norris. How does she know Detective Norris? Now, why would she call the cops and ask specifically for... Did she know that this detective was looking into Chucky? I guess that's what it is. Or he was looking into Charles Lee Ray. He's the guy who was on Charles Lee Ray's case. That's the only thing I could think of. That's why she knew his name and asked for him directly. So I can give that a pass. It just felt like a kind of a fan servicey moment. Like, let me get Detective Norris. It was kind of strange. But the problem with it is they've already retconned that in the movie, which is supposed to be part of this canon, right? In the movie Curse of Chucky. Apparently they were after him because he had just killed Nica's dad and he stabbed Nica's mom while she was pregnant, causing Nica to be paraplegic. Right? That's all out the window now. Now the cops are after him because Tiffany called the cops on him. It doesn't really make sense. So there's a logic issue right there. There's a retcon that retconned and already retconned. You can't just keep retconning the same thing over and over for a cool twist or something, because then it makes no sense in the context of the canon of, you know, the timeline of this story. So, not sure. Explain to me down below if I'm missing something, which I'm sure I am. But lastly, let's get into the Frankenstein movie scene, the big third act, the big moment. And, you know, there's lots of kills here. It didn't really make sense. Again, now, first, the dad kill, he actually stabs him from underneath, which I just find just horrific. Hard to imagine getting stabbed like that. But he's just sitting there quiet, and then blood starts dripping. So far, it's pretty cool, okay? But then everyone, once the panic ensues, now Chucky starts stabbing everyone from underneath, and he's still getting people. Every time he's getting people. Why would anyone still be sitting down? Everyone's running around. They realize that someone's dead. Someone's trying to kill people. Everyone's running around. Chucky can't just keep going under chairs. It makes no sense. Also, back a few moments earlier, I just got to back up to when they were watching the movie and Chucky was sitting there. There was a moment in the movie that was not really funny to anybody because it was a serious moment where the little girl's getting thrown and really scared by Frankenstein. She's getting thrown in the water, and Chucky's the only one who starts laughing. You know, he's sitting there watching the movie. That happens, and he goes, this is a doll sitting there laughing, and no one takes a glance to see who's laughing, who's awkwardly the only one laughing. Nobody. And he's sitting right by the parents and their little daughter. Neither of them decide to look over and say, what the freak is laughing? Who's sitting next to us laughing like that crazy? No. The doll is sitting there laughing, watching the movie, talking. This is my favorite part. And nobody notices. I'm like, how is nobody noticing the doll there? Talking, laughing at weird moments. But anyway, all this craziness happens. And it was just not quite the epic. I knew that this was going to happen during the Frankenstein movie. And yeah, they did use the Frankenstein movie as kind of backdrop to it. Exactly how I hoped they would. And that was okay. But overall, because of the illogical nature of it, I didn't really enjoy the entire scene. And then the end of it all, the little daughter, Lexi's little sister, is still sitting there with her dad, her dead dad there. She's just straight-faced. Jake and them go to get her, and she's like, but the movie's not over yet. I'm watching with my daddy. Like, this girl's kind of creepy in her own right. So we'll see where she's going in the next season. But overall, yeah, this episode was just batshit crazy all over the place. I didn't like how they did Nica. I didn't like the fact that we didn't get much Kyle and Andy together. That could have been badass, but they didn't really. They broke them apart, and it was just they both act kind of weird and awkward and just strange. And you know, again, Tiffany being Jennifer Tilly and some of the things that she said here, some of the script I didn't like. Is just too bloated, saturated with all this craziness and the multiple Chuckies and all the Chuckies now in the truck, and Andy's driving away with him. We don't know what's going to happen, and it's just too much. Overall, I enjoyed this season. I'll say that. I don't have high expectations for the second season at this point. I think they can still kind of back up on it, but we'll see. Apparently, they're going to continue with Lexi and Jake and Devin, and we'll see where it goes. I'm going to watch it. Hopefully, I'll get through it and enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the first season. Overall, I did enjoy the first season, but this last episode, I'm going to have to give it a very low, relatively low score of a 6 out of 10. I did not enjoy this final episode very much. Not saying there wasn't any enjoyment out of it, and there's some many funny moments from Chucky, and there was. But yeah, overall, it didn't work for me. So let me know what you guys think of Chucky, the final episode, and of the first series. Are you happy that it got renewed? Did you think this was trash beginning to end? Maybe I was a little bit pumped up and a little bit nice to this show, but I really think it was solid to start out. I really think it was, when it was more grounded, when it was just the kids and just the new characters. And I like the old characters. I love the old characters, but I just don't think they were utilized in the best way. And when you also try to continue with the Cult of Chucky storyline and multiple Chuckies and all this craziness, and I thought that the writing and the logic and all that just went downhill in this episode. So you guys have a great day. I appreciate everyone joining me for these videos. And please hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. I can't wait to talk more Chucky. We'll also talk about news and any kind of leaks I get for the second season that are interesting. And we'll keep on talking Chucky. But overall, I think as a season, by the way, as a season, I think it's really good. I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10 as a season. But as a final episode, not great. So you guys have a good one. We'll talk to you later.